It is November 2nd, and I am somewhat recklessly reconsidering, as I always do every November, the idea of doing NaNoWriMo. So, National Novel Writing Month is maybe something that some of you guys know. It's a pretty popular event. I find that, back when I did it for the first time, like a decade, probably more than a decade ago now, people didn't really know what it was that much, but it's become this really big event. So, what it is, and my kidney beans are done cooking. So the whole idea with National Novel Writing Month is that there are a lot of people in the world who are like, I just like have this novel idea in my head, but I don't know like how to write it, or like I just can't get started or whatever. And it's just to spend the month writing, where by the end of the month, you have written 50,000 words towards whatever you want to write. And it's just to break the momentum. So at the end of the month, the goal isn't to have like this masterpiece, this like 50,000 word masterpiece, which is about the length of a short novel, like a novella. But it's more about just like doing it, like just putting in the work, just committing to a certain word count every day. And the way it works, like when you sign up for NaNoWriMo, every time you add to your word count, you can kind of like upload it to your own personal thing, and it'll give you your word count. You'll get to see like stats on how you're doing every day, like how your word count is increasing and stuff like that. I think it's about 1,667 words every day to get to 50,000 if you're doing it literally every day. So it's a great challenge, and it's one of those things that it wouldn't be something that I'd have a lot of interest in doing on my own, perhaps, but as like a big community event every November, it's just easy to get swept up in. So the first time I did it, I think it was like 2010. So yeah, I think it was about a decade ago. And I love writing. And I was like, I've never really tried writing fiction before, so let this be my gateway into writing fiction. So what I wrote was this story about like a cat who, I don't know, was trying to save the world or something. It was a ridiculous story. But there were like human characters and stuff as well, like the owners of the cat. It was probably just terrible. I wish I could go back and reread it, but it was on an old computer of mine that crashed, like the hard drive crashed. I just never bothered to restore anything on it. So it's lost to the passage of time. But it was a really fun experience. So with the 50,000 words, I think I got like 3/4 of the way through my very, very terrible novel. But it unlocked something in me. Just being able to write 50,000 words made me feel, okay, I'm capable of this. It's something that I'm actually able to do. This whole mental resistance, the idea of just actually writing, is doable. It's not this intensely difficult thing that we tend to make it seem like. Like so many people have a novel in their head, but the idea of like taking the novel out of their head and putting it into reality is just super daunting for a variety of reasons. But at the very least, I was able to get rid of the daunting idea that it was just like a lot of work, because I guess it was, but it was totally manageable. I think I was able to write, like close to 2,000 words every day in like 1 to 2 hours. And I wasn't doing like editing. I was just kind of like free for all. I already had an outline for my novel before I started writing, so I kind of knew like what the scenes were, what the beats were, and everything like that. And then I tried again another year and failed. And then I accomplished NaNoWriMo a second time. And the second time that I did it, again, it's just something that I probably have like stored on my computer somewhere. I have not gone back to it since I wrote it. But it was nonfiction. And it had to do with food and like health, and just kind of like my own experiences with like just like eating healthfully, eating for weight loss, and just like things that I kind of experimented with in the past. And yeah, it was fun. I did 50,000 words of, so I've done it twice, where I've done 50,000 fiction and 50,000 nonfiction. And now I'm looking at it this month and I'm like, I do not have time for a big project, but I also love writing. I do a lot of writing anyway. So I'm like, is there a way that I could do this challenge and not totally throw myself under the bus? I don't know. I'd be curious to know if any of you guys watching this have ever done NaNoWriMo. And if you haven't, if this is something that you would be interested in doing, because it's really fun. It's, you get something out of it, even if what you get out of it isn't high quality writing. You get something else out of it. And I feel like the 2 times that I've done it and succeeded, that I got different things out of it different times. So like the first time, it was like overcoming the mental block that I could actually write that much, that I was actually capable of writing the sheer volume of content needed for a book. And the second time was more proving to myself that I could write like I could do research type writing with like some amount of adequacy, because that was another area of writing that I'd never really, I've done a lot of personal writing, but I hadn't done any like research type writing. So that was like kind of just breaking a new avenue open for me. So this time around, what I was thinking is I have a couple ideas. So I basically have like 3 book ideas on the go at any given time, and I haven't really done anything about any of them. But one idea is more memoir based. And I thought that one fun way that I could approach this challenge is, instead of writing 50,000 words of like pure, fresh, original content, what I could do is curate and edit things that I've already written. So some of you guys know that I've been journaling my whole life, and I hold on to things, and I publish just for myself my journals every year since 2015. Like I have a paperback version of my journals. So I have a lot of pre-existing written content that I've written just for me. But I was thinking it would be interesting to try to create some kind of coherent narrative out of things that I've already written in a short, like a short amount of words. Because I've written like hundreds of thousands of words, and most of it doesn't mean anything to anyone who isn't me. Like most people would not care about the vast majority of the things that I've written. But what if I could find a way to curate it? And then that also breeds the question of, well, would I even be comfortable sharing that with anyone? Because it would probably still be deeply personal. And on that point, I'm like, oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to, like, if I ever wanted to publish it, like publish it under some kind of pseudonym or something. But maybe that's just me being a big giant baby. But yeah, I guess that's one idea I had. I want to spend more time writing next year as well. But this just seemed like, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling it. I'm kind of feeling like I want to hop on the bandwagon again this year. And yeah, so, because I've already broken through the boundaries of, like, I know I can write that amount of content, but what if I could spend more like 50,000 words of editing and trying to make something good, or at the very least, like readable, like passable. And there's something about that idea. It's like, I don't have a ton of time for it, but it's like I could carve out a little bit of time in the evenings. I could wake up a little bit earlier. I've been a little bit lazy in the mornings. Like, I know I could fit it into my life if I actually tried. So I'd be curious to know if any of you guys want to hop on the NaNoWriMo bandwagon. Even amidst having a lot of things to do, like I said, it's like 1 month. It's like 1 month of writing 1 to 2 hours a day. It's not too crazy. Hopefully. But yeah, thought I'd throw that out there, share my own intentions, and we'll see where we go with that. But I will catch you tomorrow.